everyone, and welcome back to Wheel of Crisis. And Austin, once again, we're going to spin the wheel, and we're going to find out what random episode of superhero and comic book television we're going to get to watch today. How excited are you to do this again?
I am 50-50, both scared and excited.
So if you haven't watched the show before and you've clicked on it, on this episode, because of specifically what we're watching, we don't at the moment know what you saw in the title. We're going to spin the wheel, and then we're going to roll some dice, depending on what we get. We may do a pilot if it's something that neither of us has ever seen. But otherwise, we're going to roll dice, and we're going to figure out a season number and an episode number, and we're going to watch something completely out of context. Here we go. So this wheel, you can't see all of the names of the shows, but there are some 40 or 50 shows on this wheel.
It's nuts. It's like every comic book show.
Minus like 3 or 4 that we just don't have direct access to, but nearly everything is here. So here we go. It could be Smallville. I'm hoping for Smallville. What are you hoping for?
I'm hoping for Riverdale, because I got my Predator shirt, as in Archie versus Predator. So let's go.
Are you going to say Riverdale every show until we finally get Riverdale?
No, I'm going to keep saying it even after we get Riverdale. Once we watch every episode of that show, then I'll stop saying it.
That's another thing I don't think we've mentioned yet, is that this is only our third show, is that when we do finish a show, we're not taking it off the wheel. So it is possible that we could end up with something we've done before. All right, here we go.
Yeah, get nuts.
Come on. Let's get nuts.
Oh, God.
And the show today is Lois and Clark. Yay! That's exciting. Have you ever seen an episode of Lois and Clark?
No.
Okay,
We're getting lots of old stuff, though.
I am stoked to show you this show. Yeah, that's fun. We can get to watch some old things. We haven't had one CW show yet.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Besides the one we picked before we came up with this bizarre format. So, would you kindly, I'm just going to make this your job, Austin. Would you kindly pull up the season? I know there's 4 seasons. I don't know how many episodes per season. I think it's going to be 20-something.
Yeah, okay.
And I don't know if anybody's streaming that now. I know that, once again, DC Universe used to have it.
That's not what I want. Nope, not that either. Come on, Wikipedia. Is it Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman?
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pull this out on disc. I do have these.
Okay, so there's 4 seasons, each with 22 episodes.
Oh, good, and it's even across the board. That's good.
Yep. Not like Hulk, where it was just everything.
When you said that, I was really surprised. You're like, it's all over the map, man.
Yeah, no, there wasn't a single season that had an equal amount of episodes.
Okay, here's our dice roller. So, can you see that?
I'm not looking, but yes.
Okay, so there's our dice roller. So we need, first, to spin a 4-sided die. Luckily, there is such a thing here. So we're going to be doing... Now, you've never seen that show, but Eric and I have already done a commentary on the pilot, so I don't really want to do the pilot again.
Well, and that's, like, episodic, so...
It's very episodic.
Yeah.
You won't have any trouble understanding what's going on, or the status quo. It's Superman in the 90s as essentially a relationship soap opera.
Yeah, well, and I know who Superman is. I know who Lois Lane is, so we're good.
The picture you just pulled up is an episode where Lois is a superhero, and I think she got powers temporarily. I haven't seen that in a long time. I'm rusty on that show. But the reason,
like All-Star.
But what I wanted to mention about, I can't remember what she called herself in that even, but what I wanted to mention about that is I have, and I've talked about this a lot before, but I've been to the Superman Museum in Metropolis, Illinois several times, and they have that outfit there. I've seen that in person.
Oh, awesome.
We are doing season 1, and the episode counter, so let's bring up I gotta do math here. I guess a 12 and another 12 would do it. Or maybe a 12 and a 10?
Yeah, that's fine. I was going to say the first 2 episodes are both the pilot.
Right.
So if you want to cut those out, you could do like a 20-sided.
Oh, we could. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, well, yeah, we'll just throw a 20. Well, yeah, but that wouldn't give you the last two.
Well, no, you just cut out the first two. So you just, whatever it is, you bump up to.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so I am rolling a 20-sided die, and so your idea is we add 2 to whatever the roll is.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. And it's going to be episode 4. So let's find out what episode 4 is.
Episode 4 is called Neverending Battle. So it sounds very action-packed.
Generic as hell?
No, this is probably going to be like Darkseid shows up, and he's got like his horde, and it's a never-ending battle for supremacy.
So I would suggest that you take your standards wherever they are now, as far as the exciting comic book stuff, and maybe reel them in like about like that from here.
About 100%.
Yeah, about that far is what I'd say. Okay, so I'm gonna go get the disc and screen share, and we'll be ready to roll.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm excited. This
While
was...
you're doing that, I will put my new hypothesis to the audience to entertain them.
Okay, sure. You do that. I'm not going to be able to hear that, but yeah, sure. You do that.
Okay, so since can't do any comic book stuff, I think the never-ending battle will absolutely just be like Lois and Clark. They're at like a coffee shop, and Clark does something wrong. He doesn't give a big enough tip to the person working there, and they get into a fight, and it's the never-ending battle.
That sounds like a plot they would do.
Oh, God, no.
1 second, folks.
It's time to re-roll the wheel.
You spin wheels, generally.
Oh, that's true. Whatever. It's all the same thing.
Could we respin the dice?
Yeah, well, can we just put all the shows onto like a side of a die and then just roll it?
That sounds... One side? Well, that just doesn't make any sense. You'd be right back where you started from. Here's the list.
Yeah, but then you can roll it, so then I would be grammatically correct.
Oh, and that's all that really matters. Over practicality and everything.
Yeah,
You guys
exactly.
just got to see my snazzy new gaming chair that I got from my wife a while back.
It's pretty snazzy.
Oh, it's wonderful. It has solved so many of my problems, because I was... inside baseball, I was having not the best back, which is with as often as I have to sit at my desk. And it is really fixed that. I have so much better posture just in general.
Yeah, with that kind of job, you need like the proper like ergonomic stuff. Even just like with keyboard, like, typing all the time.
That's right, yeah.
I don't. Do you have like a crazy ergonomic keyboard?
I don't. I have a cool kind of gaming keyboard.
Oh, okay.
That like lights up and stuff, so it's snazzy, but no, it's not really ergonomic.
My mom's got like the craziest one because she has a desk job, and it's like 2 sides like this, like it's split in half, and they go up like a triangle. They have like a gap in the middle.
Oh, you know what?
Nuts.
I didn't look at the episodes. Sorry, give me just 1 second. I assumed disc 1 would have episode 4 on it, but I forgot the pilot is a 2-parter, and so yeah, they only put the... Well, actually, I didn't forget that. I just figured they'd have 4 on a disc, but they don't. They only have the pilot and Strange Visitor. So I guess they... Oh, you know what they did? They put the pilot as 1 episode.
Yeah.
Maybe they had enough special features. I don't know. I don't have all the answers. I just know this is
clearly Lois and Clark didn't either.
I am like stupidly excited that this is what came up.
Do you think this is what the new show's gonna be like, Superman and Lois?
No, I don't. I think it's gonna be like a
CW show.
Well, not to put too fine a point on it, I think they're going to attempt to make some kind of a cross between Smallville and Supergirl. I think is what that show's going to be like.
Oh no.
Where it's going to be like they're going to try to do like a high school drama thing on top of like sort of traditional superhero stuff with the Smallville stuff all baked in, but it doesn't matter because by the time this episode gets posted, that show will have already been on for at least 2 weeks.
Yeah. Is that show all in Smallville then?
That was what the preview would have led you to believe, but I don't know. Or at least it's on a farm. I would assume that it's in Smallville. I've not looked into it beyond looking at that trailer, so.
That's strange.
But, I don't know. I mean, it's a CW thing, so I can't say I'm excited about it, but I want to be, because I like their Superman.
Yeah.
And I always...
I guess if they did it in Metropolis, they run the risk of it just being Supergirl, but with Superman.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you'll always be wondering, like, where's Supergirl?
Wait a minute. So you said... So the episode 4 I'm looking at is not the same title of what you said.
Oh, really? That's what Wikipedia says. What's your episode 4?
I'm looking through you. Wait. Were we supposed to do 4 or 6? 4, right?
4.
Yeah. I'm looking through you as episode 4.
Oh, yeah, Wikipedia says that's 5. It's Pilot, Strange Visitor, Neverending Battle, and I'm looking through you.
You know what? No, okay, I see what's going on. It's because the pilot is 2 hours. So the numbers here are different than the numbers that you gave me. So we'll just
yes, of course.
So we'll go ahead and do Neverending Battle. We'll just pretend like that first episode is 2 parts, and yeah, that's totally cool. Mostly because I think I remember what that I'm looking through you episode is, and I don't want to watch that one. It's not very good. So
it's kind of weird that they would list it like that though on the DVD because it's technically wrong.
Yeah, it depends on how it aired though. Like, initially.
Yeah.
Because, like, true. A lot of shows aired... Well, and I think it did air as a 2-hour pilot. And Star Trek's that way. When we do Star Trek trivia on our Star Trek show, we always count the pilots and the last episodes as 1 episode. Anyway, this is taking forever. I apologize. Okay, so... Let me just screen share for you.
And I also got candy to go with this episode. So this episode is brought to you by Sour Cherry Blasters, which you can't see. There you go. I
was going to say, sorry, nobody can see right now because I'm
Get a blast of cherry flavor with Sour Cherry Blasters. Cha-ching.
Okay, show it again.
That was ripped, but there you go.
That looks tasty. Okay, let me just do a test and make sure that you can hear the audio on your end. Is that coming through?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Tracy Scoggins.
That's Tracy Scoggins. She has a strange last name. Yeah, that is Cat Grant.
Isn't she in Supergirl, Cat Grant?
And she's a completely different character in that. She's their Perry White character.
Yeah, she's like the mean boss, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
All right, are you ready? I hope we get some great Lane Smith. Because since you've never seen the show, you've got to see some Lane Smith.
Oh, who's that?
That's their Perry White. And their Perry White is my favorite Perry White, and he's obsessed with Elvis, and his version of Great Caesar's Ghost is Great Shades of Elvis. And it's fantastic.
That's awesome.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Oh, this is my childhood. I'm excited. Here we go. Everybody, we're watching episode 3 or 4 of the first season of Lois and Clark, and it was called Neverending Battle, right? Neverending Battle. Here we go. Yep. Everybody, please press play right now. Oh, we hit the jackpot. We really did.
Watch out for that ladder, Clark.
That's not Clark. That's Jimmy Olsen. That is their their first Jimmy Olsen. He is replaced after the first 12 episodes, I think. There he is. There's Lane Smith. Great Shades of Elvis. Yes. So I'm trying to get. There we go. Got subtitles.
Oh my God! It's the Punisher.
No, he looks like a typical evil Superman. Who's the?
To me, he looked like classic Punisher, like when he first appeared.
he's an alien. Maybe maybe they reproduce asexually. You don't know. Most conversations are about relationships or sex in this show.
Oh God, that's the main thing I want to hear Superman talk about.
But
Oh, not the coffee. And the ladder, everything's falling apart here. Okay, but that woman would still be burned by that bit of coffee that landed on her, right?
that's true, but he saved her from going to the hospital.
No, but it would be more than just, oh.
Who's the guy from Supreme Power? That drawing looks like the Superman from Supreme Power.
Oh, I don't know.
That's who he looks like. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Maybe this guy got like a vision of the future where Superman's evil, and he drew that.
So we got a piano jazz soundtrack for the score for a lot of the show, especially when we're inside the Daily Planet, which is just very nostalgic for me. And this theme song never got out of my head. It was probably like 15 years after the show ended before I saw the show again. I never forgot this theme song. It always stuck with me. And you notice we've got a Superman with kind of long hair, because this was that period in the comics.
Yeah, when he, like, mullet Superman.
Mm-hmm. But to be fair to Dean Cain, it's not a mullet. It's just long hair.
No.
He looks good.
It's looking like we're going to get some superhero action.
There is superhero action in the show. Absolutely. Some of the best Kents. I don't know if they'll be in this episode, but they find ways to shove them in a lot, even though they live in Smallville. Yeah. Usually by phone call. There's a lot of phone calls with the Kents. And here's good old John Shea as Lex Luthor.
Like a leopard skin suit.
Yes, he has a whole animal motif. He stares down a snake in the pilot, which is a really great scene. He has a Swami that comes in just to bring out a poisonous snake that he can stare down, and then the Swami comes in. Oh, that's the Swami guy. And the Swami just comes in and picks it back up and leaves, and they apparently do that on a daily basis, Austin.
Oh, he's got twin mercies.
And, wait, why is there a pogo stick?
I don't know. Why did he give them roses for the pogo stick? What? This
Lex, as rich as he is, still works on the bartering system.
I would totally trade 2 roses for a pogo stick. That's what he should have done in BVS, is he walks in and he gives the guy a rose, and that allows him to, like, go into the ship.
Do you know anything about the show?
No, nothing whatsoever.
Okay, so you don't know about the clone Lois that eats frogs or any of that crazy stuff? This show gets
awesome.
great. You will love the show, I'm telling you. They try to get married 3 different times in this show. There are lots of wedding episodes.
I was just thinking it's interesting that, like, how many older Superman stuff has him with hair? Because the movie does for most of it.
Yeah.
This does. The Superboy show does. But, like, everybody still thinks of him as bald.
Well, yeah, but it's always, like, early Lex where we're waiting for it to happen, because those Lexes all lose their hair at some point.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen most of Superboy, so I don't know if it happens there, but I'm going to assume that it does. But, like, this Lex will lose his hair at the end of the season or somewhere in 2.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember. Like, yeah, it's always an early thing we do. Because even BVS did that, where we have to have the Lex that's got hair, and then at the end he loses it.
Yeah, that is true. Always got to have an origin for being bald.
Yeah, Smallville is unusual in that it starts with it that way, but it has to have... Like you said, it has to have an origin, just right away. Because you know about that? Lex in that doesn't have hair because of the meteor shower. And, like, he's incapable of growing hair.
Yeah, I've heard, like, something about that.
Yes, sir.
So this is the nicest Perry White there is.
Two. No. Make that three.
He comes in the morning and says, "How is everybody?" And he means it. And he's also obsessed with donuts, and he's constantly sending Jimmy to get him things. And Jimmy's like waiting to actually be like relevant to the newspaper, but he's always having to get coffee and donuts and stuff. I just want to sit down and watch this whole show again now. It's refreshing because it's Superman, dude. It's positive and optimistic, and
Yeah,
I don't
remember that?
remember what that's like anymore. Like, let's just live in the past, Austin.
Yeah, well, that's what was so refreshing about the Man of Tomorrow movie. It
Yeah.
was like, oh my god, Superman can be Superman again.
But still in a modern context where like the world's
Yeah.
not perfect, and yeah.
No, they believe it anyway. All right, everybody. Let's think.
And that movie's got like some rough action and some swearing, and like it doesn't have to do any of that to Superman.
Give me Superman.
Nope. Get me Superman.
I'm glad we're watching this episode because there's a couple of like big things we've already done that this show is sort of kind of known for. Like he says that a lot. Like, get me Superman.
And the Easter Bunny, why don't you reel them in too?
Sounds good to me.
So early on in the show, of course, like Lois does not care about Clark, but is obsessed with Superman. We got to do that whole thing.
That's the ultimate way to flirt, is to just put a magnifying glass
In
where you
front of
want them
your-
to look.
In front of your chest.
Yeah. Like, see anything you like? I can count every molecule.
Yeah, the romantic score is always really cliche.
Really? He's there now?
We love that saxophone.
Give me that dress again.
Well, saxophone's the greatest instrument ever made, so heck
Is
yeah.
it?
Don't let him.
Yeah, I love saxophone.
How is the audio on your end? Can you hear it pretty well?
Yeah. Yeah, no, we're good.
Finest building in the property.
Meanwhile, in this dilapidated building...
Girlfriend? No. Boyfriend?
Oh yeah, is this the one where he's looking for an apartment? He ends up with a really cool apartment.
Candace.
It's not this one? This is pretty cool. Look at that window. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
just
sure
he-
this is where Daredevil lives.
Just a lot lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember if he like takes this place and then fixes it up, or if he goes to some other places. I think that's what happens though.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And
They
I'm
can only
pretty-
afford one set,
And I'm
so...
pretty sure we'll also get that. I'm pretty sure we'll also get that thing in this episode where we find out that he can eat like anything he wants to, without having to worry about it like messing with his figure or whatever. So this Superman, all he eats all day long is like chocolate and pizza and...
Oh, God. He eats worse than the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, because he can. Because the sun keeps him fit.
Yeah.
When can I move in?
As soon as the check clears, I'll get some extra keys.
Oh, yeah, he's buying it, so... He's definitely gonna... It's a bit of a fixer-upper.
Where is he?
But I'm pretty sure when, like, the sink is releasing, like, black oil goo,
My new
like, they condemn that place.
And I also don't know what being Superman like does to help you fix that, unless you just don't need to drink water.
What do we know about Superman?
Superman. I'm glad we got one this early for you, Austin.
Man, he can really jump. Oh, right.
He can really jump for a white guy.
Buildings in a single bound.
He's pretty fly, too.
Immensely.
Oh, that guy's in everything.
But how powerful?
Oh, yeah, I've seen this
What do we
guy.
know that guy from?
A locomotive.
Oh, God, we need to see him again.
All men
Oh, wait a minute. I know who that is. I know him mostly for voice acting. So, like, I definitely have seen him in live-action stuff where I wouldn't know the correlation. But, God, what is he? He's the voice of some supervillains on, like, Fox cartoons and stuff.
Oh, cool.
testing.
I gotta hear him talk again, and I can tell you who.
Sons use the art of war.
I think he might be Chairface Chippendale.
Waiting for the Reader's Digest version.
Sun Tzu was a general of ancient imperial China.
See, this is classic Lex stuff. Like, now he's quoting Sun Tzu.
Knowledge
Yeah.
precedes victory. Ignorance.
Everything he does is within the context of war.
Well, an Uzi precedes a bloody
Well,
mess.
I already like this Lex bit. Like, he seems pretty cool so far.
He's great. All the casting is good. Because I've always loved Terry Hatcher, too. I don't care what anybody says. I really like Terry Hatcher.
Oh, do people not like her?
People don't like her, I think, because of maybe other stuff or whatever. I'm not sure. I'm just saying, if there are people who don't like her, I think she's great.
I don't agree with people if they think she's bad.
I guess I'm just saying a lot of people would put a lot of other Loises above her, but she would be in my top 2 or 3.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I have like a top Lois. I don't. Most of the Superman stuff I've seen is bad, so.
Oh, we got to show you some good Superman stuff. I mean, you've seen the first 2 movies now, and obviously
Yeah.
she's great.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think she'd probably be my top, just by like default.
But I'd love to know what you would think of the Adventures of Superman version, Noel Neill, going back to the 50s.
Is that the George Reeves show?
Uh-huh. Because
Oh,
she's
okay.
also wonderful. And a surprisingly strong female character for that period.
Yeah.
Like, she's very front and center in that show. Like, it's about her a lot.
Oh, cool. Yeah, it is pretty unusual for that time.
And I think it just kind of happens naturally that day because she's a female reporter.
Mm-hmm. It was easy to put her into plots.
Come down. We'll talk it through.
So, like, naturally she had to get rescued all the time, but that's true of Terry Hatcher here, too. But, like, what makes them strong female
True of, like,
characters
most,
is they're
Lois.
constantly taking risks and
Yeah.
putting themselves in danger in order to get the story.
Whatever you want.
Ooh, I could go for a cappuccino.
Whatever
That sounds good.
you want. Jump.
I don't know about
This
that
guy's
first-person
taking the
POV.
shortcut
That
to
seemed
the
like the wrong
cafe.
choice. Yeah, here he comes. The S-Man.
The S-Man. That's quite a jump, S-Man.
I like their Superman costume. It's of course, very traditional. I like the way light hits it. The colors are nice. The only problem I have with the earliest one... Wait, I gotta listen to this guy.
Execute. Roger that.
Yes, that is who that is. That is Chairface Chippendale from the animated Tick.
I've only seen that once, but even I could hear it.
No, you face a zebra. I face the Tick. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Strike that, reverse it. No, I face a zebra. There's this episode where they mind switch, and the Tick's in a zebra body, and Chairface is in the Tick's body. It's great.
God, remember when Superman would talk people down from jumping off buildings?
Yeah, I remember when that's what he did. Yeah.
He would do stuff like that.
I know this is corny 90s television. I'm not acting like this is brilliant or anything, but isn't this, really refreshing after
Yeah.
modern Superman stuff? This is Superman. This is what you want.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
At least characterization-wise. There's a lot of really hammy, terrible stories in this show. Don't get me wrong.
They'll just rewrite you. My advice is to get back to the office and start typing. Look, take my cab.
God, after 3 weeks of working on BVS, all I want to do is binge-watch this show. I'm so excited right now. And we got a really good episode for your first time.
City desk closed.
This guy's like, what's going on? I just took my phone. He's so disillusioned.
Superman.
It's a weird commercial cut.
That reminds me, can I borrow your gray suit?
Lucy, you're
Did that guy strike you as an extra that was trying really hard to get noticed just with facial expressions?
And I'm pretty sure he did, because that guy looked like the Kevin Costner Pa Kent.
So you're ragging on me.
you are so wrong.
Really? Who was it who called me last night practically in tears from Clark Kent.
Okay, you're trying way too hard with that strand of hair.
Competed. And I won.
Yeah, you just want to get like a pair of scissors and just cut it off.
I stole it. I have never stolen a story before in my life. How could I do that? It's him. It's Superman. And ever since he held me in his arms, there's something between us, Lucy. I know it. There's this connection.
So that's her sister, Lucy.
Be ashamed of
Oh,
yourself.
okay. Lucy Lane.
Yeah, and I think they're maybe living in the same apartment together right now. I can't remember. But that's a character that in some Superman things we do a lot with, and in other things she hardly ever shows up. Like, she's in, I think, one episode of Smallville, maybe.
Shoes are too tight.
Oh, okay.
But this show
I was
uses
gonna ask
her.
if she was in like
lot.
Supergirl or something.
Really. I think she.
That
I
seems
think
like a
she-
character that you would put in Supergirl.
Yeah, because you have to get the relatives of all the important characters.
Yeah, no, exactly.
You got what you deserved.
We don't have Lois, but we got Lucy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, and they
Yeah.
did that initially. And it's funny because they did that initially with like even with Superman, where it's like it's not a Superman show, it's a Supergirl show, and then we had what's her face, Lex's sister instead of Lex, but then later Lex, and later Superman, and yeah,
Yeah,
and like not Perry White, but Cat Grant, and
yeah.
but some of that was also let's find like the female counterparts for everybody too. So in their defense, they at least like have Jimmy Olsen in the show right away. Like they tried to have some major Superman characters there.
Well, 'cause you gotta have the one. You gotta have the token one.
Yeah, but I like their Jimmy a lot.
I've been expecting you.
I mean, he's a completely different character, of course, but he's a grown-up Jimmy, and we never get that.
You'd be coming by. I just, please forgive me.
They should
Unless we
have
kill him
had,
in the
like,
first 5
Janie,
minutes.
instead of Jimmy. Like,
Well, yeah.
Chicken salad.
like what everybody thought with Man of Steel.
Do you know what they did with him too? They made him a superhero in the first season.
Oh, I didn't know that. I
Yeah.
only watched the first half of that.
He
So.
becomes Guardian.
Going after stories.
Oh, cool.
Does the phrase Mad Dog Lane sound about right? Seriously? Yeah, but
So Austin, this is fun. We've got a story about Lois stealing a story, and if you'll recall, in that animated Superman movie that came out this year that we both liked, they did that in that.
Yeah,
yeah, but who? God,
You know, Man of Tomorrow.
and they reference Godzilla. And what does Man of Tomorrow end with?
what is
A
that?
big Godzilla monster. Yeah.
Big assignment from the chief, Mr. Foot. Vibrating water.
I think that movie is 100% just based on this episode. It's the only Superman thing they'd ever seen.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Parasite's not going to be here, but
Maybe those two girls that got the roses, they'll combine to make Parasite.
and I'm also pretty sure this show never does Lobo or Martian Manhunter.
Thanks anyway.
They're in the last episode.
It does do Mixelplick though, and he's great.
Yeah, do they do like any Superman villains outside of just him and Lex?
A
Or is it
few?
mostly just that?
Yeah, I would have to go back and look because I don't remember.
Okay, Kent.
I don't remember who exactly. I think they might have a Metallo. I can't remember. It's been too long, and they have a big two-parter. I think it's the cliffhanger between 3 and 4. Maybe it's just in 4, but they have a big two-part episode where Kryptonians come down to take over the planet, and they're not allowed to use Zod and Ursa and Non. So it's like not Zod and not Ursa. And that's one of the many, many ways we've used the name Jax-Ur. Jax-Ur is so many different characters,
Oh, okay.
but the Zod for this show is Jax-Ur.
Cool.
Superman.
He's definitely an alien entity.
This is great. We got
God, he
conspiracy
came
theories
from
about
the planet
Superman.
K-Pax.
Isn't that Kevin Spacey movie from the mid-90s?
I'm planning another run at the presidency.
The presidency?
And to follow up my 2 previous terms in 84 and 92.
Mr. Cleveland.
Oh, please, call me Grover.
That guy thinks he's Grover Cleveland.
She took his lunch.
Because crazy people don't deserve to eat.
You don't deserve to live. She's just stealing lots of stuff. Stealing stories, stealing sandwiches.
She didn't feel as bad about the sandwich.
No. She did it pretty viciously, with intent.
It's weird to use the name Montoya in a DC thing that's not Montoya.
Yeah, it's true, but would Montoya be like a big character by this point? When does
She's
Gotham
in...
Central start?
She's in the animated series. 2 years before this starts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Montoya's not invented for that. Like, she is one of the main cops in Batman the Animated Series.
Well, I wasn't sure if that had started yet.
Yeah, that's 92. Lois and
Okay.
Clark is 93, 94?
I just knew this was 90s, so I wasn't...
It is
wasn't
around
quite-
the same time, to be fair, but...
Vulnerable. Man of Steel.
So do you think it's too cheesy for Lex to be like coming up with all of the Superman catchphrases?
Like Man of Steel?
He's been doing it the whole episode. He comes up with leap a tall building, and he comes up with faster than a locomotive, I think, or one of them. But like, there's 2 or 3 of those, and then he just said Man of Steel. So Lex has come up with all of them this episode.
I mean, I guess that is weird, but those are all lines I feel like are gonna be cutesy no matter how they're put in. So it doesn't really bother me.
I think it's less cutesy than a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
Where because sometimes people will say it like it will feel almost ironic, even though they can't be quoting anything, because you're watching Superman. Like, you're in a world that has Superman. What are they quoting? And it's like Lex is just this genius who is also kind of a marketing genius, I guess. He just keeps coming up with all the marketing catchphrases.
Well, it's also just something he said. Like, a lot of the times when we do it now, it's like the actor turns and winks at the camera while they're saying it.
If we
We
have
didn't
the
get
habit, that's one of the better ways. And I also kind of like that we're getting it all out of the way early. Like, because Smallville just stretches it out, and they always like pat themselves on the back for being clever, for including them. And...
Can you imagine how he must
Yeah, no, of course.
I think so.
Superman can jump.
Do you think we should be?
Man
Sorry, do you think we should be rushing her to the hospital right now? She looks like she has a concussion.
No, because people tend to bleed from their head. So I think she's okay.
But what do I do about this? It's not coming out.
See, the Kents are gonna be on the phone.
I don't know, Mom. It's a bomb stain. Clark, are you sure you're all right? We saw that explosion on television.
Both on the phone with them?
Yep, they always do that too. They're always both on the phone.
That's amazing.
Got a serious problem.
I'm telling you, man, you will love this show. You gotta go through it.
Bull, somebody's gunning for our boy.
Somebody's got it for a boy.
I want to go through just this specific episode, Austin, and talk about all the reasons this understands Superman and BVS does not.
Heck yeah.
Based on just this.
Well, we got Superman in a building that explodes. Like, that's something you can parallel.
His parents aren't giving him the worst advice imaginable.
Somebody's gunning for a boy. You better watch them die.
Someday you can go save people, son, but not today.
I want you to watch as all these children die in this bus, Clark.
That is either the greatest or worst Kevin Costner impression I've ever heard.
Well, I'm still doing the voice of this one.
There was something vaguely Kevin Costner, but like a parody, like a really over-the-top cartoony Kevin Costner.
Yeah, I don't know Kevin Costner's voice well enough to even try.
Well, and in BVS, in his one scene, he also did not know Kevin Costner's voice.
That's like, I was watching an episode of The Simpsons today, and they have a guest star who voices like a character he used to play on Hogan's Heroes. and he didn't remember what the voice was, so one of the actors on the show had to do an impression of his voice so that he could base it off of that impression because he'd forgotten how to do it. It's great.
Yeah, they have a lot of fun with Superman's powers in just like domestic situations.
Which is what you do when you're like on a small budget, right? You just do stuff like this.
Yeah, and when you have like Clark in the title of the show, it's not like it's nice because it is both Clark and Superman. Like it does a really good job of living up to its title.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And even then, like we've gotten enough Superman stuff that like it's pretty cool. And I love the running joke that she keeps pouring her coffee into her plant.
They do a lot of sight gags like that in this show. And it is a little bit like Incredible Hulk, where you'll have like a token scene or two with Superman. But
Yeah.
as you've seen for early 90s, the flying stuff looks pretty good.
Yeah. No, definitely.
So,
For 90s TV, it absolutely looks pretty good.
And yeah, they show it just enough that like it feels like the Superman stuff is really there. Like it feels grand enough.
Mhm.
They've both been released. Jules Johnson immediately. They don't think he ever meant to jump.
Yeah, you got to be smart how you handle this stuff, and you can't go too big than what you can actually do.
She's afraid of heights and she jumps off a 30.
And I've always thought that Dean Cain had a ton of charisma and just really carries the show.
While she was sedated, she kept mumbling something about a test.
Yeah, I mean, like we're talking over it, but like I like all the actors pretty well.
I don't get it.
Fire.
What else?
That's all.
It's not much.
Lois, I had an idea.
I'm kind of more of a second Jimmy fan than the first one. If
Well-
you ever watch through the show, I'll be curious to know what you think of that Jimmy.
Yeah, because we've only really had the one scene, and he looked like a total creep right there. He was just like lurking behind the desk and came running out.
I think it's the second Jimmy Olsen. I've probably mentioned this on camera before, but I think it's the second Jimmy Olsen who is the like grown-up version of the kid from Child's Play and Child's Play 3, where like it takes place in like the military.
Yeah, I remember that one.
I'm so glad you're getting Elvis stuff this episode.
Chief, I have something I have to say.
What Elvis song is this? I can't hear it like super well because it was pretty low. But
I don't remember the name of that.
yeah, I don't know.
I am a
He's-
huge Elvis fan.
He's trying to stand up for himself. He's not gonna be able to do it.
This is the way I like to remember the king. Not like the last time I saw him in Vegas. December 76. Jim
There's a lot I like to remember.
man was
Okay.
30 pounds overweight.
This is a
He
great
looked like
speech.
a
I remember
cross
this.
between a ice cream salesman and a neon sign. Did 15 shows in 11 days. I'll never know how. His eyes were bloodshot. His hands trembled. And there was a crack in his voice I'd never heard before.
It must have been awful for you.
I love how like the concern in his eyes.
It was the greatest experience of my life. Was that all you had to say to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna get you that soda now.
I love that there's no point to that story at all.
Thank you.
That was the greatest experience of my life.
From Millie?
The employment records and the two jumpers.
That was a wonderful scene.
They both
I
looked
hope that's just what Perry does at all times when you're not seeing him.
I can't believe we got so lucky with the dice roll. That is the scene that I would have wanted you to see for Barry White.
Luther.
There's one later in the season somewhere where he's got a like cardboard cutout of Barry White or of Elvis.
Excellent. Monsieur Luther. I'll take a dozen in each of the styles we discussed.
Oh no, this guy looks like Dr. Evil.
Why are you so surprised by a rich person asking for lots of suits?
Superman. Come in. You want to know how strong I am, Luther?
Yeah, I'm remembering everything about this episode, but I didn't remember all these scenes being in this episode.
You want to know how fast I am?
And see, we've kind of got that, like, Lex trying to test Superman thing from the first movie. That's pretty badass, man. Superman shoots a gun at a person and then grabs the bullet.
Does that conclude your demonstration? The tests stop now. Well, nice, but what if they don't? If I were you, me? I admit nothing. No, but let's assume that these tests continue. You can't be everywhere at once, Superman.
So I'm gonna assume it's not this episode, but this is reminding me of a thing that happens. There's an episode where Lois is on a treadmill that won't stop. It's like a speed thing where, like, if it stops, it explodes.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Once Lois hits over 50 miles per hour, she's not going to be able to stop.
So that's why this Lex is so cool. Like, he gets a gun shot at him by Superman, who grabs the bullet, and he goes, yeah, but what if the tests don't stop? I'm just going to keep doing it. You're like, wow. I had forgotten about that. They're definitely extrapolating from that idea in that first movie.
I'm trapped. As long as I keep Superman alive, Luthor can make good on his threat.
So, how can we help?
You can't.
I'm just imagining the Man of Steel music right now. But
I'm just picturing what those Kents would do in this situation.
What would they do, Austin?
Pa Kent would go and grab his gun, and then he'd rock up to Lex's home, and he'd shoot him.
This is what Superman does when he's sad and he needs to, like, think about things. He goes and flies around at night. He's having a really rough week, too. Like, he got bomb stains on his suit.
He lost his story.
Now he's having his Superman No More moment.
At least keep the coat hanger.
But see, this doesn't feel like he's, like, pathetic and giving up. Like,
No, he's in a dilemma. He's got to figure out how he's going to get out.
wow, you're a great artist, Lois.
Penny for your thoughts.
Look how she draws that S.
Where is he? It's been 3 days.
I want her to just look at that notebook and go, this means something.
Superman's not a coward. Would not turn tail at the first sign of trouble. What's with you?
This pencil drawing stands for hope.
I...
What you need is a pick-me-up.
So all Cat Grant does is just hit on Clark the entire season.
Yeah, she's just like the bait to, like, keep Lois and Clark from getting together.
had zero in my life.
Tell me anyway.
I can't remember if she's there the whole series or if she leaves at some point.
I just thought if Superman...
I've seen this first season way more than the rest of the show.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised they don't have, like, Jimmy trying to get with Lois. It's like, you got one person going for Clark, one person going for Lois.
They've kind of already nipped that in the bud, though.
Oh, okay.
Because they do a whole thing, I want to say in the pilot, where the two of them are, like, strapped, or like, tied up and kidnapped and, like, strapped to a, like, rocket or a bomb or something, and he, like, kind of professes his love to her or something.
Yeah. Oh no, poor Jimmy. He wished that he died. 'Cause
Yeah, he
his
got
heart
quite
died.
friend-zoned.
Jimmy, look, I'm just saying. I'd rather this rocket go off than go on a date with you.
Look at that state-of-the-art computer.
It's pretty sweet.
Get me the
It
Emperor.
probably runs better than Windows 8.
Jimmy's idea. That's it. That's the last.
God, this has got me just wanting to get in a time machine, go back to 1993, and never look back, man.
Okay, I'll hold.
So they do a lot of sped-up footage in the show.
Oh, Clark, your drawing sucks. You drew it too fast. It's sloppy.
Okay, what's funny about him doing that also that fast is I think he had enough time to do it the normal speed.
He's also, like, not in a private office. Like, there are other people around him.
I was gonna say that, yeah. He's in a public place. He's like, yeah, maybe she will see.
Well, they'll look at him and be like, he must be some sort of Flash man.
Magnificent day. No Superman.
He's the red-blue blur.
Oh, God. I forgot about that.
I'm feeling exceptionally cheerful.
It's sort of like how Arrow was the Hood.
Yeah.
He was the Blur.
In Flash is something. Yeah, he's like the blur there.
No, I'm talking about in Smallville.
Oh, in Smallville.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Flash.
No, in Smallville. He was the red-blue blur.
That's
In
terrible.
season 8 on, I think.
Can't stop crying.
He had a crappy name, everybody called him, and he had a crappy costume, basically. But he still doesn't become Superman until the last episode.
That's how you know your show's gone on too long.
Yeah, when you have a Justice League and you've done almost the entire Rogues Gallery and you've done Darkseid, but he's not Superman yet. Well, you even did Doomsday, and he has, like, he dies at some point, but not because of Doomsday, and he has, like, a figurative death where he wears black after that because he's decided that there is no Clark anymore, so he's wearing black, and it's a figurative
I'm
death.
edgy now.
Dude, it doesn't
Just
matter.
going through his Marilyn Manson phase.
Idea of Superman. Someone to believe in. Someone to build a few hopes around.
I just cannot deal with watching this while in the middle of working on BBS. It's driving me insane.
Superman, why are you talking to people?
Just wish that I could tell you.
Stop.
Well, and she just, like, Lois just laid out, like, what Superman is and why he matters.
Not now.
If I could go back in time, I would just take that. I'm not saying this is the greatest episode of television, but if I could go back in time when Snyder makes Man of Steel, I would just hand him this episode.
Superman. Someone to believe in.
Okay, wait, did we need to hear this 3 seconds after you said it?
Whatever he can do, that's
Yes, because he's remembering. And it's giving him hope.
Well, sure. Can you read my mind? Do you know all the stuff that I'm thinking of?
When I look at you, can you read my mind?
You're from a distant star.
You're from
What are those
K-Pax.
generic arcade games with just roses painted on them? Did you see that?
Yeah, it was Care Bears the game. You, like, go around and you beat up people who don't care.
Oh, this is a classic situation. Her teddy bear's right underneath this this sign that's gonna crush her. Don't stand there, you
Get out of the way, kid! You know Sam Raimi's seen this scene.
Again, can we show this to Zack Snyder, please?
Remember, kid, don't stand under falling signs.
Remember, signs are still the safest way to advertise.
Mr. Luthor, I don't understand. Superman has proved himself unbeatable.
I did not remember this Swami guy stuck around past the pilot.
It's really weird.
Yeah, I know.
I've never seen like this type of guy hanging around with Lex Luthor and like a
It's
thing.
supposed to be because he's like world savvy and like cultured, and so he takes.
Maybe he's like Bruce Wayne and he traveled the world.
Yeah, exactly. He takes ideas from like all these different exotic cultures and marries them all together. And
It's cultural appropriation, man.
exactly, it's exactly what he is.
Let's kill some pigeons.
There's only one thing I want dead more than Superman. It's pigeons.
Cause I'm poisoning pigeons in the park.
It's the right time, I guess.
Well, that's what being a good reporter is all about. You keep it up.
Thank you, sir.
Where the hell's my fish?
Let there be no mistake. Ruffles is my name.
I wish they didn't even have the context setting up that line
I
earlier.
don't want any context.
Context.
Where the hell's my fish?
I think that's coming in right now.
That's wonderful. I'm gonna start saying that.
So you with me? Best Perry White, right? Like, you don't get better than this Perry White.
No one has ever said, "Where the hell's my fish?" While walking away from you.
Oh, I didn't know I was gonna. I didn't know I was gonna get to show you like a Perry White episode.
By the way, did you know that it is possible to get completely lost at the Metropolis Sewage Reclamation Facility? And did you know that there are billions of mosquitoes there? I do, because I met them.
I also really love the reason Clark put his Superman costume back on. I mean, it's a little. I guess it's a little easy that like he was in the neighborhood and that girl almost got crushed by a scion and he had his costume on because we saw him put it in a suitcase. I'm not really sure why he put it back on, but
Well, in that speech from Lois gave him hope, and he was.
oh,
like,
maybe he went and put it back on after that speech.
It's kind of the Aunt May thing from Spider-Man 2, except she wasn't just like, "The world needs Superman," you know.
You got the story?
That little girl about to get crushed by a sign could sure use some hope.
And if this was that movie, there would be another scene where she would go, "Well, you can't do everything. You're not Spider-Man, you know."
Lois Lane, Lois Lane. Is that an angel?
That Godzilla's creepy.
Yeah, with that like weird like yellow stripe he had instead of the spikes.
Oh,
the
man.
dorsal fins.
He put his foot down.
Oh, he threw his fish out.
Yep.
What a jerk.
And Perry was setting him up to do that. He was hoping that he would, because the guy's got principles. Like, it's so good.
Lois, you might want to go see a doctor. You're limping pretty hard, kid.
She's got a concussion, and she's got like a hip out of joint, and she's
Yeah,
got
she
like
got
a
attacked by
twisted ankle.
mosquitoes, so she probably has malaria. Like,
I didn't win.
And yes, you did. You got the story.
The next episode is the death of Lois Lane.
this episode is the death.
Yeah, we have the funeral in the next episode.
It'll be the world without Lois Lane this next episode.
And then after that, you get Reign of the Loises.
Because Clark, you'll never experience
That's where you get the frog one, right? Or the one that eats
Yeah,
frogs.
that's where the frog eating one comes
What
from.
do we got going on tomorrow?
hmm And then there's a black Lois that wears like a big suit, and then there's a Lois with a visor that murders people.
Well, and there's one
And Cyborg
woman that
Lois.
looks nothing like Lois that just looks into the camera and goes, "I'm Cyborg Lois."
Exactly.
A very long time.
Well, what do you think of that?
That was great.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that
good.
was really good.
There were a lot of really crappy episodes of that show, okay? Like, just so you know. that for first season is up there. That's a really good episode.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
Oh, man.
I will never forget, where the hell's my fish?
Where's my fish? And that Elvis speech.
That has nothing to do with anything. It's wonderful.
They kind of play it like that had something to do maybe with Jimmy going through his character arc, but I'm not sure. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out if that meant something.
Nah, I don't know. It was
really
awesome.
It's a really good speech, though, where he's just like, I saw Elvis perform when he was, like, at his fattest, and it was and his oldest, and it was, like, the best experience I ever had. It's great.
No, it was great. It was super great.
We're gonna have a hard time beating this episode anytime soon. I didn't expect to get to watch something good today. That made my whole day, dude.
Yeah.
I'm on cloud 9 right now because I'm so sick of crappy Superman, and I got to watch that with you, Austin. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, and we've had more good stuff on the wheel so far than bad stuff. So, like, this is pretty sweet.
Yeah, which is a
I'm
surprise.
rethinking my whole, the wheel sucks. The wheel might be blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed, everybody. We got the wheel's doing great.
Was that from Runaways, or was that something else?
Yeah,
Where did we see that?
She has a selfie of herself that says hashtag blessed.
That's what it was. Well, everybody, I hope you had a good time with us. I'm euphoric right now because I've been having to do like really bad Superman lately. That was wonderful. Thanks a lot for watching. We will see you guys again real soon with another Wheel of Crisis.
And now I can say it with enthusiasm.
Yeah, gusto. Exactly.
Yeah. Crisis is better than Wheel of at this point.
I don't know why I was wanting Smallville so bad. I got even better than that. I got Superman, like real Superman.
And it tied in though, because he went to Smallville.
That's true. He does that quite a bit. Like he'll fly back and forth, but yeah.
Yeah, but like your shirt still tied in. Mine did not. The Predator did not show up in this episode.
No, I mean there are Superman Predator crossover comics.
Oh, I should have put on my Godzilla shirt. Then it would have tied in.
You could never have known.
No, it's too random.
I mean, it wasn't even like a 1 in 40 or 50 chance. It was like a bazillion-y chance because that was one episode that happened to have an action figure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. We sure appreciate it. We'll see you again. I feel more vindicated making the show now because this seemed like a really bad mistake on the first episode, and now I'm like, nah, this is great.
Yeah, no, it completely turned us around.
All right, we'll see you again next time, folks. I was Captain Logan, and this was The Day Ghost.
Ooh.
Later, everybody.